Andrew Webster, coach of the Warriors, mate, 2 trials down. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think it's been some good signs. I mean, definitely made it very hard for ourselves on the weekend with the amount of ball we dropped, but then we showed signs of resilience there in the first half to go 6-0 up with that much drop ball and in the heat and things like that. We didn't really apply any pressure, but we hung on there and defended our line strong, and then we were lucky enough to get a try. But yeah, no, I'm happy. I mean, there's lots of things that we've been practicing that we've been seeing, but we're just not going to compete if we keep doing that. So we've got a strong focus in the next week and a half to get those things right.
Yeah, I think, look, people look at that first half defensive effort especially,
yep.
Where you haven't let Melbourne in. 24 points in the second half though, you've been reviewing that. What have you been saying to the boys about that?
Oh, I think there's a cumulative effect too. Sometimes with the amount of pressure that you put on yourselves at the time, it might not show straight away, but it could get you at the back end of the game. That's one thing. Secondly, we made a lot of changes in the second half, which doesn't matter who wears the jersey. We want them to do the job, so there's certainly no excuses around that. We've been reviewing just basically our options around why we're making the mistakes, how we want to fix it, and what we want to do in the next couple of weeks. So the boys have got a great attitude. We reviewed it, self-reflected. So yeah, it's good.
So you made that comment like you're fighting for spots and you've got people wanting to put their hands up, and some guys probably didn't put their hand up on the weekend where others did. Yep. Are you comfortable with your depth of squad if you do have to make some hard calls?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think if you create an environment where people have confidence in themselves that they can play if they get that opportunity, I'm happy with the depth. I mean, we've got guys I think the thing about our group at the moment is the versatility in which they can play. Guys like Dylan Walker can play anywhere in the whole team and be a great player. We've got front rowers that can play second rowers that can play front row. So yeah, happy with the depth. I mean, some guys probably didn't play their best footy, but they've certainly got some runs on the board too. So they're definitely still in calculation.
Mate, you've obviously come into the club with a bit of a strategy, and you've had an off-season with them, which has been really good, and you're working towards an end goal, which is hopefully a grand final win.
Correct.
Whereabouts are you on the scale of 1 to 10 on that strategy?
I don't think you know until you hit the season. I mean, I've been part of clubs where we've lost 2 trials and been terrible, and come out and not struck, and then come out and been really successful. Won the first 5 from 7 one year, beat Melbourne twice in the Roosters. So, and you wouldn't have thought that from our trials, but we did have a really good pre-season. We've trained really well. I think parts of our 2 trials were excellent. So until we actually get into the competition and see it, I'm not sure how it's going to go, and we'll find out. But I have faith in these guys that they've done the work and they're ready to go.
Mate, a lot of people don't really realise what happens after the trials. You've got a 2-week break before you've got to come back and prepare and head down to Wellington to play the Knights. What happens in these 2 weeks off?
Yeah, no, good point. So what we do, we review it today and yesterday and today. We hit the ground for some light skills today. Tomorrow we'll have a heavy hit out. Then we're going to give the boys 3 days off just so they can recover, and we're actually going to train on Sunday. So we start our prep for next Friday. We always work back from the next game, and the best preparation is to train on Sunday. So everyone's coming in, but they'll come in bouncing in fresh and ready to get excited about round 1.
Are you settled on the team in your head, or are you waiting for the week to pan out and the reviews to finish?
No, there's a couple of spots. I mean, we haven't got together as a staff and sat down and said, right, what's our team? I think we're 90% sure on what we want, but that's why you hire such good staff, so you can sort of bounce ideas off and see what they're thinking. And then we really need to knock over the interchange, how we want to do things, because that's when people come in a calculation and people don't, because they're going to help each other. Because in the trials, what you're trying to do is just give everyone that equal opportunity. Now we've got to think about our rotation, our subs, and make sure we get that right, and then we'll pick the team.
Mate, have you been watching Mody Moore and the Breakers and seen what they've done since I've come back to New Zealand? Similar situation, went away for 3 years, fought against all that COVID stuff, and he's come back and he's hit the ground running. They're playing in a grand final. Have you been watching that? And also, have you got a message for the Breakers?
I've got a message for them. Go and win. Very excited representing New Zealand. I think stories like that, you can draw something from it. I can't wait until they finish so I can hopefully tap into a little bit of that, talk to their coaching staff, how they did, what they were after. I'd love to do it now, but I'm certainly not going to disrupt them in the middle of a final series and they're trying to take out the championship. But I think we can definitely draw some stuff on what they've achieved. And whilst it's a completely different game, they've been through lots of similar things that we've been through. So can't wait to get that opportunity. And if they're watching, I hope they win.
SENZ.